real-world inequalities. Here's another common sign that you're going to see in different places, especially restaurants. See, restaurants and different public places have to abide by the fire code. So you can't really cram as many people as you can inside a restaurant. There's a fire code, there's a fire limit, so there's a maximum of 42 people. Maximum occupancy not to exceed 42 people, 42 persons. So how many people could you actually have at this restaurant? You could have 42 or less. So what does that mean? P must be less than or equal to 42. You want to go to Disneyland? I want to go to Disneyland. Anyway, if you want to go to Disneyland and make sure you're able to get on the rides, you have to be at least 42 inches tall, right? Now, you got to be able to interpret the signs also. Right here it says 42 inches, and it looks like you have to be exactly that height. That's not the case. You could obviously be taller than 42 inches. So how do we write this down as an inequality? Let's talk about height here. So H, what does the height have to be? It has to be greater than or equal to 42 inches, okay? Let's try another. I took this picture from one of my kids' Lego toys. Right here it says the ages for this Lego toy is 6 to 12. Okay, so this is actually two inequalities in one. Later on in the class we'll be able to write this as a compound inequality, two inequalities in one. But right now let's just write them down separately. So let's take a look at the 6. What does that mean? That means that how old do you have to be, and I'm talking about the age here, how old do you have to be able to play with this Lego toy? You have to be at least 6. So the age has to be greater than or equal to 6, right? That's one inequality. And how about over here, 12? Your age has to be less than or equal to 12, okay? I mean, this is just a suggestion, right? I mean, yeah, of course, kids could play, if they're 5 years old, they could play with this thing. You probably don't want to give it to a baby, they could probably choke. And of course, if you're 13 years old, you could still play with it. This is just a recommendation. It'd be pretty messed up if you actually took this literally and you took inequalities too far.
If Dad could build it with us. Yeah! Because I built this one, so. Hey Dad, could you build this with us? Yeah! I could build it.
You want me to build this with you guys?
Yeah!
Wait a minute. It says for ages
6 to 12.
How old are you?
I'm 6.
How old are you?
4.
Well, you can't do it then.
Dad, I'm 6 years old. We could build that.
Well, yeah, we could build. Wait a minute. This says from ages 6 to 12, and I'm a lot older than 12, so sorry, buddy, can't help you. So, yeah, inequalities are everywhere in the real world. Obviously, I let my kids build that Lego set, but so there's one more type of inequality I want to talk about, especially when we're dealing with words. Like this is worksheet 5.2, and this one's very important because you need to be able to read the sentence and be able to write the inequality to be able to solve it. Right here it says 2/3 of a number is no more than -10. A lot of people get really thrown off with this is no more than. So let's see a live example of what that means, no more than.
Hey Dad, is there anything I could do to get money? Any jobs?
You could clean the backyard.
Well, how much do I get paid?
No more than $5.
Better than nothing. Let me go change. I'm dressed. Ready to get $5.
No more than $5.
Yeah. Okay. There. I'm done. That took so long. Can I have my $5 now? Please?
That's a pretty good job.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought it was $5.
No, I said no more than $5. That's an actual inequality. You know, like X is less than or equal to $5. I could pay you $5, but I could pay you less than or equal to 25 cents. Gotta know your inequalities, man. Don't spend it all in one place. So going back to number 24, now that you saw that video, I'm pretty sure you guys could understand number 24. What does it say? It says 2/3 of a number. So let's start writing. 2/3 of a number. You could put n, you could put x, whatever variable you want. It says is no more than. Okay, so what does that mean? Is no more than? That means that it is less than or equal to -10. And that's how you set it up. And of course, to solve this thing, you get rid of the fraction, multiply by 3. What you do to one side, do to the other side. It cancels out. You will have 2n is less than or equal to -30. Final step would be to divide by 2, divide by 2. Then you end up with -15, because -30 divided by 2 is -15, and you have an n right here because the 2 is canceled out. And the question is, do we keep the inequality symbol or flip the inequality symbol? We're going to keep it because you did not divide by a negative. So we have the less than or equal to, and that is your answer. N is less than or equal to -15. Now, if you wanted to write that in the notation that might happen on a future multiple choice test, you're probably going to put you are going to put the brackets, the n, and then n is less than or equal to -15. Close the bracket.